Hey everyone, today is May the 18th, 2018. Strong hand, really strong hand. Buy, hold, put away. Delayed gratification, think 2020. You don't need to trade coins. Just buy and hold. Bitcoin is the king. It's the rock. It's the one that's going to stand the test of time. What I want to do on this show is to talk to you about what you should be doing as a newbie in the space in terms of buying Bitcoin. Here's what I've noticed. Many people, all the information going on out there in the space is way over their heads and they just don't know where to start. So I want to help you on what you should be doing, and on this particular show I'm going to give you my top 10 tips for buying and holding Bitcoin. Please find me also on Twitter at UK Bitcoin Master. If you use Steemit at all, you'll find me on Steemit at Buzz27. Okay, so on with the show. I want to take you through my 10 steps to buying, holding, storing and looking after your Bitcoin. Okay, so here we go. Step number 1. Read the Satoshi white paper. Get an understanding of why Bitcoin is, what its ethos is, what it isn't. Get a good understanding of why Bitcoin is the rock. Bitcoin is the king. Why it is decentralized, it is immutable, and everything else I've said on previous shows. Everyone and their dog will want to tell you to buy this coin, that coin, the flavor of the month coin. Honestly, buy Bitcoin. You won't go far wrong. Read Satoshi's white paper. The link will be below this video and any other links relevant to this particular show. Step 2. Now this is an interesting one. Buy a Trezor, link below. A Trezor is a hardware wallet. The reason I'm telling you that as step number 2, there is Trezor, there is Ledger Nano, there's a few others out on the market. I happen to passionately believe that Trezor is the best. It's the easiest. I think it's fantastic. I've got one of them and I would encourage you to order yourself a Trezor. And the reason that's number 2 out of 10 is because there's a backlog and they take so long to come. If you're serious about buying and holding Bitcoin and you're thinking 2020, 2024, 2028, if you don't know what they are the Bitcoin halvings where it gets scarcer and scarcer and scarcer, and that is, you really want to be thinking about that. So order your Trezor, because whatever you put on it today, be it 20 quid, 50 quid, 100 quid, 1,000 quid, in my opinion, it's going to be worth a heck of a lot more when those halvings come around. Number 3, register with an exchange. You cannot buy any Bitcoin if you're not registered with an exchange. Some of the exchanges that I would, I'm not even going to say recommend, they are centralized. You know, the governments have got their claws into them. So if you do trade, you're going to be paying your taxes. You know, so when you buy Bitcoin, it is monitored. Nothing will happen till you sell Bitcoin. That is when you make a profit and they'll want their income tax from you. But you need to be registered with an exchange. Now, there's a lot of exchanges out there I wouldn't touch with a barge pole. There are a couple that I would recommend you use, and one of them clearly is Coinbase. Okay, the other one, it's called LocalBitcoins. It's really not an exchange, but it's somewhere where you can buy Bitcoins from people in your area that are selling it to make a little bit of a profit. Yes, you'll pay a little bit over the top for it, but you can get them readily on LocalBitcoins. Again, the links are below this video. Now, once you've set yourself up on something like Coinbase, you cannot get around the fact that they will want to KYC you, which is know your customer, which is you've got to prove who you are. You know, you've got to prove maybe your national insurance number or your banking details. You know, that's Big Brother watching a game, but unfortunately we're not going to get away from that in the cryptocurrency community. So you're not going to be able to register with one of them unless you go through the verification process with them. Once you've done that, it's simple. Buy some Bitcoin, whatever you can afford, 20 quid, 50 quid, 100 quid, 1,000 quid, 1 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin, you choose, but buy some Bitcoin. Now let's say that you use LocalBitcoins. What will actually happen is you will go through the transaction with the seller. Okay, they'll take you through their own individual process of how they want you to verify who you are with them. I've done it, and it's a pretty straightforward process, I have to say, once you've got your head around something new. And then whether it's Coinbase or whether it's localbitcoins.com, buy some Bitcoin. If you're using local bitcoins, that will then go into your wallet on the exchange. Now, here's the big one. You don't want to leave your wallet on an exchange for very long at all. Why? Because exchanges get hacked. You know, we're in a world, a digital world, where hackings take place all the time. And I've only been involved, as this video is recording, for about a year in Bitcoin, but I've learned about the exchanges that have been hacked recently and a bit further back. And you really don't want to lose your Bitcoin. You know, you may lose it at £100 and think, oh well, but what if in 10 years, 12 years time, that 100 is worth maybe 10,000? It's not oh well then, is it? So here's what I suggest you do. As you go through this process, hopefully your Trezor will arrive. Then go on to the Trezor website, which is trezor.io, link below, okay, and set your Trezor up. Okay, one of the most important things you can ever do when you set up your Trezor is write down your 24-word, it may be 12-word now, I can't remember, but your recovery seed. This means, and questions I get asked are, well, what if I lose my Trezor? If you've got your recovery seed safe in a cash tin, in a bank vault, 2 or 3 of them somewhere, and you know it, best thing is to memorize it. You can recover all of your Bitcoin. Even if you lose your Trezor breaks, it's stolen, your Bitcoin is safe. So your recovery seed is so important. So keep it safe, memorize it if you can. Now, as soon as you've set your Trezor up, and you've got your wallet set up, which is a very simple process. If there's lots and lots of help, tips and videos, or something to read, I believe, on the Trezor website. So that'll really help you out. There are people that do consultations on setting up Trezors. Find one of those if you need to and pay them in Bitcoin. But it's really quite simple to set the Trezor up. What you then do is you want to learn how to move some Bitcoin around. My advice, if you're on local Bitcoins, take a little bit of your Bitcoin, a tiny bit, and move it from local Bitcoins or Coinbase onto your Trezor and check that it's on there okay before you move the whole lot if you've bought a large amount. Always do a dummy run. It is way better to do a dummy run and lose 0.001 of a Bitcoin than it is to not do a dummy run and lose the whole lot. So the next step is then to get it onto your Trezor. Okay, you know, what's really important then is to protect those keys. Now, the great thing about a Trezor is you never expose your private key. Again, you've got a public key, which you want to give someone if they're going to pay you in Bitcoin, and you've got a private key which you never expose to anyone, because if you do, it'll be hacked and it'll be gone. Okay, particularly on your computer. The thing that I love about a Trezor is when you plug it into your computer, you've got a little window on your Trezor and you've got to verify everything you do. You've got to put a code in to actually get the Trezor website to recognize your Trezor. And it's all done encrypted and it's all spinning, it's random numbers and code. And it's pretty infallible and pretty difficult for anyone to hack it because your private keys are never going online. Okay, so once you've got it on your Trezor, what do you then need to do? You know what? Here's the really boring part. Nothing at all. Now, people think they need to do something with it. They need to trade it. They need to move it around. No. You know, you'll hear all the more mature commentators than me say things like 90% upwards of all traders lose money. The cryptocurrency world is so volatile right now that you just cannot judge when it goes down, whether it's going to fly up an hour later. And imagine you own some Bitcoin, it drops, so you sell it, and before you've got a chance to buy it back, it's gone up again, way past what you sold it for. You're losing money. Don't try and trade. Even experienced traders with over a decade or more experience in trading will tell you that trading cryptocurrencies, you will lose everything. My advice, buy your Bitcoin, store it on your Trezor, and then leave it. Do nothing with it, although that sounds boring. Now, what I do once a month, I take my Trezor out, I plug it in, I actually fire it up, and I ensure my Bitcoin's there and it's safe. I then unplug it, I put it away, and I forget it. Let me give you another little tip. Don't keep watching charts. When I first bought my Bitcoin, I was constantly watching the charts to see what the price was doing. You know, all that will do is drive you demented, guys. It really will. I found, you know, over the last 8 or 9 months when I got over that, I don't need to know what's going on with Bitcoin because I'm buying and holding for the long term. And I know that with all of its swings, with all of its highs, with all of its lows, ultimately it's going to climb. And that's all I worry about. It takes the fear, the dread, the worry out of owning your Bitcoin. Simply buy and hold. So we're on number 6, I believe. Let's get to number 7. HODL. You'll hear this phrase all the time. HODL. What does HODL mean? Hold on for dear life. Yeah? You don't need to do anything with your Bitcoin. HODL. Number 8. HODL. Number 9, HODL, and number 10, HODL. Don't think you need to do something with your Bitcoin because you really, really, really don't, guys. So my top 10 tips for buying and holding Bitcoin are very, very simple, and I'd like to recap on them for you if I may. Number 1, read Satoshi's white paper. So important. Understand the technology you're investing in and why it is only going to go one way over the medium to long term, and that is up. 2, order your Trezor. It takes a while to come. 3, register with an exchange, be that Coinbase or something like LocalBitcoins, which is not technically an exchange. Number 4, buy some Bitcoin. Simple. Hey, listen, with Coinbase, I even believe you can set up a recurring payment so that you can actually have a little bit go out from your salary or your wages every month so that you build your little pot. And I think what this is doing, as an aside, it's helping people that stopped saving to get back into saving again. But saving where instead of leaving your money in a bank that's going to earn you nothing really, you're putting it into something like Bitcoin, which is going to gather momentum and could potentially make you very, very happy in a decade or so. Number 5, when your Trezor arrives, plug it in, go to the Trezor website linked below and set it up, write down your recovery seed and keep it extremely safe. Number 6, move your Bitcoin from wherever you've bought it onto your Trezor and do a little bit at a time. Number 7, HODL. Number 8, HODL. Number 9, HODL. And number 10, HODL. If you follow those tips, guys, and you do what I advise, I absolutely promise you that in a few years' time, you will be extremely happy with your financial situation. That is today's Bitcoin show, guys. Again, all the pertinent links are below the video. Again, please like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the bell button, and I look forward to catching you on the next show. Bye for now.